Welcome back to Grand Slam Sports NBA and the first official, well actually no, this is the second now official NBA segment for this season. I'm Charles Foster and I'm joined here with
Jay Saj.
And moving on, we got our first trade of the year, and it's only been a week. We got James Harden finally.
Biggest trade of the NFL trade deadline day, honestly. Happened the same day as it in the morning. James Harden, I could not believe it. I mean, I could believe where he went, but I couldn't believe it happened like that.
It happened at like 4 a.m.
Happened in the middle of the night.
I was on my phone playing, I think I was playing Apex Legends. I was just chilling.
At 4 a.m.?
Don't ask. I get an ESPN notification, and it just goes, James Harden traded. I'm like, oh no.
I mean, I think we all knew he was going to the Clippers. That was dead set. He was gonna, but the Clippers did not give up that much.
They got a bag of chips. The Sixers.
I like chips, but dang.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of chips are we talking? That's the real question. But
Sun chips.
Sun chips.
Hot take.
Sun chips are great. James Harden. I mean, he's gonna fit great. Great starting lineup. Russell Westbrook. You got James Harden. You got Kawhi. You got Paul George. You got Zubac. This team's gonna be great. The issue is the Sixers. You know, if you're in the Sixers' shoes, you got Joel Embiid. You got Maxey. We're gonna go into that in a little bit. What else? I mean, that's just it's a team. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of stars. It's like 2 stars and then a bunch of others. And they got nothing.
Trust the process. It ain't working.
The process
ain't working.
I'm not trusting it right now. I assume that they would at least get Terrence Mann something, but they didn't even get that. They didn't get either of the young core. So it just, they kind of just like you know that one Family Guy meme whenever they all put their hands in and then he just like, no, not you, Seamus. That's exactly what they did with James Harden. Like they were like just get out, scram, please.
I mean, he wished it upon himself by not going to the training camp, by not showing
James Harden is a diva.
No, he is the biggest snake in the NBA right now.
This man has worn more colors than anyone else in the league. This man is always on a new team. I'm pretty sure the Rockets still have the picks from the Nets trade. And he's not even
like
played
3 teams later.
Played on 3 teams since then. So it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand why teams still try and pay for it. I mean, if you're the Clippers in this situation, they didn't really give up anything. Now they have a big contracted diva on their hands. But I mean, hey, at this point, why not?
I just don't know if that much star power works.
The Clippers are just a bunch of old stars that used to be really good.
Man, if this was them in 2016, 17, this team
the best team of all time.
Best team of all time. My God.
Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. I mean, it's a great team. It surprisingly actually works decent. I think it's going to work decently well. You got two-way forwards. Yeah. You got Russell Westbrook.
I mean, you saw the Clippers-Lakers game a few nights ago, how good that game was.
That right there is true basketball. That game was
finally a battle of LA to actually watch.
Exactly. And that was a great game. And I just think that, you know, with James Harden in a Clippers uniform, I think it's going to be great. I think that this is a good trade for both teams. As much as even though the Sixers got nothing, I was at least expecting them to get Terrence Mann to,
at least they got something for him.
Play the 2. But, you know, at least he's, you know, they got something in their lineup now. Poor Korkmaz, because he was trying to get out of that. He was trying to get in that trade.
He's trying to get out of that team for like 5 years,
The most unwanted man in NBA history. I mean.
Poor Korkmaz, he's stuck in Philadelphia.
Both teams denied. Both teams said no. I mean, that's crazy to me. But moving on to the other side of the rainbow, we're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. Tyrese Maxey, Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Boy's a dog.
He's crazy.
He's got the ball now. It's his team. It's his offense. What does this mean for Maxey with no Harden?
He's going to be a star. An absolute star.
Superstar, or are we just talking star?
All-star.
All-star, right in the middle?
Low-level all-star.
Low-level. I think it's a fair pick. I think that, you know, give him a few years' time, this dude's a bucket.
I mean, 100%.
We throw that term around a lot. You can be just a bucket. I mean, because Cam Thomas.
He is a bucket.
Yeah.
Bucket.
He's different. Because like whenever I'm talking about someone like Cam Thomas, who puts up 30, 40 games every single time he gets on the court. I don't know how he does it, but that's an LSU boy.
Annoying.
But he's great. But at the same time, he doesn't do enough to become a star. Tyrese Maxey, he's got the defense. He stretches the floor. He's a great playmaker, and he can score. Just like James Harden used to be able to do. And you already have the leading scorer in the league almost every single year with Joel Embiid. It's going to be a fun team. I mean, even though the rest of their team kind of isn't that good.
It's them two in some depth.
Them two in the world. But, you know, we've seen how that kind of works. And there's other teams that are, them 3 in the world, and, they're not going to compete with, like, the Suns. Even though the Suns got or should have gotten walloped last night by the Spurs. I don't know if you saw that game. They were down by, like, 30 in, like, the first quarter. And the Spurs only won by, like, 5. Yeah. But Victor Wembanyama, I think I do want to say something about him real quick.
Yeah, let's get into him real quick, because there's a few things to talk about.
How do you feel about him? He's really living up to the hype for me.
I didn't think he would. I'm going to be really honest with you. I didn't think he'd be this good already. 38 points last night is absolutely insane. Like, how do you do that? In your, 5th game ever in your NBA career, 38 points and 10 rebounds against Kevin Durant.
You know how we always talked about rating the capital, not rating the capital, rating Area 51. We'd always sorry, I was doing news last night, wrong news story.
I was like, oh no.
We were talking about rating Area 51, right? And I'm convinced that whenever people try to do that, they got Victor Wembanyama.
Oh.
And that man is a test subject. That is not a real human.
It's Slender Man.
He is 7'5". He can shoot. He can dribble.
Did you see the 3-point last night where he just ran up and just splashed it?
I mean,
how do you do that?
I remember I saw a tweet where this person's like, I was watching the game last night and I was like, why did they have this small guy on Victor Wembanyama? No, that's Kevin Durant. The man that we've been talking about is lying on his birth certificate because that is a 7-foot man. And he was sunned by Victor Wembanyama. And sunned, if you get my pun there. Victor Wembanyama, he played great. So
he's going to revolutionize the game. He's going to change the game.
It's going to change defense too, which is even worse because defense is already hard. It's already
hard
to
Why did he
score.
have to go to one of the best coaches of all time?
Yeah.
That's going to be a severe problem.
One of the best franchises.
The Spurs might be a playoff squad, but just because of him solely, honestly.
Keldon Johnson, dog. Trey Jones, dog. I mean, this is a good team. And Malachi Branham, another dog. It's a good team that, like, if, given the right situation with a star like that, give them 3 years and they're going to be in the playoffs. Maybe even a finals appearance in, like, 5. Ugh. I mean, if he sticks – I'm not one of those people that, like – I don't like to hype players up to where they're just not cool anymore. Like, Victor Wembanyama, I knew about him before he was even hyped up, about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. We all knew he was coming in. Like, he was like that one, like, you see him in the stratosphere and he's just slowly coming. And we all knew he was coming, but we just kind of didn't talk about him.
Now he's here.
But now, he's being overhyped a little bit, but then he's living up to it.
I mean, when you score 38 and 10 against the Suns, it's
ridiculous how
good.
someone can be so hyped up and still live up to it. I thought he was going to be disappointing in their standards because of that, but he was great. Moving on to the big news tonight.
It's time.
In-season tournament. It
begins. For the first time ever, something new in the NBA. This is the best thing Adam Silver's done in his tenure as commissioner.
Something fresh.
This is going to be fun.
We need that.
And I know you saw it. All the new courts.
They're sick.
That they're going to have. I mean, they're colors. They're colored courts.
They give me. I remember back in the day, I played a lot of AAU basketball. I coached a lot of AAU basketball as well. It gives me those vibes. You go to a random court and you're like, oh my God, it's green. Like, that's the vibes that it gives. It gives off that high school feel.
And it includes the trophy behind the logo, which people have been begging for in the NBA Finals because they used to have it in the NBA Finals.
Finals courts, if they do not bring back the Finals court, people are going to riot.
Oh, there's going to be a riot. It's going to be part 2 of Capitol, as you
gorgeous. I'm going to get canceled. Absolutely a gorgeous idea.
Oh, I agree. This is the best thing that Adam Silver has come up with.
It makes the regular season mean something. The NBA has this really bad habit, and it's not their fault. NBA and MLB have these really unfortunate things where they just get so dry in the middle of the season. No one cares. With this,
MLB should add something like this.
There's something to care about. MLB, they can. They play 162 games. I don't know how they do it. But
it's possible. It's the same way the NBA just did it. Make the games
MLB
double up.
Use it. Because like football has that big game feel. Every single game matters. This, you can lose 5 in a row and you're still in the playoffs.
I think they started a little bit too early. Beginning at 6 games.
That's how the UCL starts. It normally starts within the first month.
Yeah, but beginning at 6 games in and having an ending with like 20 games in, I think it's a little bit too early. Because then it's going to make January, February be a little bit dry. Again.
Yeah, but then you have the All-Star break, and you have trade deadline. So, I mean, I think it's just the beginning part. I think it's just to get rid of the slow part. I love the fact that they made it a part of the season because my biggest fear is 82 games is a lot of games. I mean, that's a lot of games. I mean, players are already dead by the end of the season. But there's been talks about getting rid of the 82-game season, which I'm fully against. But So adding more games to me was like a horrible idea. But they honestly kept it pretty much.
Making the games count towards the season was perfect. That's an idea I didn't even think about.
Whoever thought of that, you deserve a raise, a bonus, whatever you want. Just
promotion.
Just take it. Yeah, promotion.
Immediate promotion.
Because that's genius.
I'm still going to stick with my pick from, I think it was last week, the Sacramento Kings. I think they're still going to win this.
I don't remember what I picked last week. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't even remember what I did last night. But I think I got the Cavs coming in. I think the Cavs are the team to beat. I think the Cavs.
Oh, guess who they play tonight?
And that leads me into what we're about to talk about. We got some games going on tonight. We're going to predict them all.
Yep.
Cavaliers versus Pacers here in our backyard. The new court coming out. We were thinking about going to that game, but we decided not to because we've got other obligations. Cavs versus Pacers. Who you got?
Pacers.
Give me Cleveland. I said they're winning it all. I think it'd be kind
Pacers already beat Cleveland in Cleveland. Granted, they didn't have Donovan Mitchell. They didn't have Jared Allen. They didn't have basically their entire starting lineup. Cleveland's still struggling, even with them back. Indiana, they began 2-0. They lost a lot. Their last two games they played, which sucks.
They got walloped by the Celtics.
I don't want to talk to you because you're a Celtics fan. Just go back. Just go back to Illinois. We don't want you. No. But I mean, I think Indiana will beat Cleveland tonight. I hope so because I want us to compete in this new tournament.
I think that this tournament's made for the mediocre teams. I don't see a big team winning this one. Do the Pacers have Tyrese tonight? I know he did not play against Boston.
I believe he's playing.
Okay, that'd be a game changer. I still got the Cavs here if they're healthy, but yeah, I got the Cavs coming out of this one. But I think this is gonna be the best game tonight, in my opinion. Or
there's a few.
One of the best ones.
There's a few.
Speaking of the other one that I had towards the top, New York Knicks, Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee, thank you. Move on.
Give me Milwaukee. I think it's going to be a better game than what you're
Milwaukee's had their struggles already with Damian Lillard. He's had a few games where he just isn't shooting well.
Yeah, but Milwaukee's
that's the
got
Damian
the
Lillard. That's the Dame experience, though.
But Knicks could steal one. I think the Knicks have a really good roster. So I think that this is the team that of all teams steal one from Milwaukee in this situation.
It's definitely possible.
Miami versus Wizards. Now this one is it should be the Miami and move on, but they've actually kind of sucked this year.
Washington. Don't give me that silent treatment.
I guess. I'm going Miami. Even though Miami is 1-4 right now, we're going to kind of get into them in a little bit. I still got Miami. They're the better roster. They for some reason, play really good when a trophy is involved, so we're going to see it again. I think Miami plays really good tonight. Okay. We got the Nets versus Chicago. This one's going to be a good one. This one's a grit and grind game. Give me Brooklyn.
Give me Chicago.
I think that Brooklyn,
Have we had the same pick yet?
No. We're really just not thinking on track today. We're just the Nets. I like their team coming in. Chicago, in my opinion, is the definition of mediocrity, which is the reason they might actually do good in this tournament.
I still can't believe they beat the Pacers Monday.
Give me Brooklyn in a very close one, like a 1-2 point game. I think it'll be very close.
Chicago, Bulls by 10.
Warriors, OKC. A few years ago, this would not have been close. Now,
OKC.
Wow, they didn't even debate that one. I guess we're going to keep the same trend. Give me the Warriors. Once again, when there's a trophy
I like Shai.
involved.
I love SGA. This guy is the next coming of a superstar. He's a superstar, really, with Thunder.
Perimeter defense is one of those things that the Thunder kind of struggle with a little bit, and I think that playing against one of the best perimeter teams of all time, they're going to have fun. This is going to be a fun matchup, but I mean, who's going to stop Chet?
Brings me back to the old Thunder Warriors matchups.
I'm very happy about this. I love the Thunder being good. No one can hate the Thunder being good. If you hate the Thunder, what's wrong with you? They don't even have any rivals, so you have no excuse to hate the Thunder, in my opinion. I mean,
plus they have some of the best, in my opinion, uniforms with the sky blue. I love the sky blue. Yeah, I love sky blue.
Moving on as well, we have Dallas versus Denver, 4-0.
If we have a different pick here, something's off.
Denver.
Dallas
may be 4-0. Denver's still better.
Denver's still Denver.
No one stops Jokic at all. We said that with Wembanyama last week, but I mean, Derek Lively has the Duke product. He's one of my favorite draft prospects coming into this year. But I just don't think he has the seasoning yet to stop someone as creative as Jokic. So give me Denver in a close one, though. Memphis, Portland. Memphis has not won a game yet.
That's crazy to me.
We're going to talk about that later. And Portland. What you got?
Ugh, this game isn't very fun.
It's an hockey game.
Memphis, what is wrong with them, man? We'll get into that in a second. Give me Memphis.
Give me Memphis as well.
They've got to get a win eventually.
Memphis got to win. They got to break the streak, and Portland's kind of the team to do it against, I guess. So,
I would think so as well.
But with nuance, of course,
here we go.
Comes even more nuance. Well, barely nuanced because Nike has a problem. We'll get into that. City jerseys. Whew.
I have some things I want to talk about.
I'm going to let Jace go first because the second I put this
No, actually, I want you to go first because I might have a long rant. So
the second I put this on this sheet, Mr. Jace Hodge has not been the happiest of campers. So I'm
a big uniform advocate, and I have a few things to nitpick
We
here.
each picked 3 that we like
Yep.
and that we despise. I'm going to stand up real quick. I'm going to go over the 3 that I really like
Okay.
and the 3 that I despise.
Let's see if we agree.
First off, the ones that I really like, one of them is in the farthest possible corner that you cannot see, Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
I'm a classic person. The Rocky Mountain jerseys, you can't beat them. I love the design. And
I'm going to say straight face here. I don't want you to know what I'm thinking.
I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. So, I mean,
Okay.
I'm big on these jerseys. Honorable mention, the jerseys over there. I like them, but, you know, we're going to keep them to ourselves. Those are my number ones. At number 3, people don't like this one
Number
that
3?
much.
No, what's number 2? You just get number 2?
We'll go number 2.
Okay.
Number 2, another one that's just color, purely color. With the Buzz City Hornets jerseys, baby blue, looks gorgeous.
Agreed.
And I like the little gold on the side. It makes it look prestigious despite them being an awful franchise. I really like the look.
That's tough. That's tough.
I think that is great.
Tough.
I got an underrated one. I'm going to get some hate for this pick. But my number 3, and I think it's purely because of just the basics of the jersey, give me Atlanta. I love this jersey.
I'm setting up right now.
I love the text. I love the blue on the
Let's
side.
turn over to the side for a second.
A lot of people do not like this one coming out, but to me, it's a nice, clean, basic jersey.
Okay.
It's similar to the LA ones that came out with that one font, the newspaper font that they had. I like that. It looks like they just put it in Microsoft Word, but for some reason, there's something beautiful about it. I enjoy it.
What's your bottom 3? Just getting right into it.
Bottom 3, the ones that I absolutely despise. Let me talk about the track jerseys over here, the Nuggets.
Okay, next.
Hideous.
We'll get into
Let
that.
me talk about, I don't even know what this is. There might be some deep meaning behind it. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, not heat culture. This one, hideous.
Next.
Hold on. The city, where are you at? Oh yeah, City of Brotherly Love. I hate these. I'm sorry, but I almost just died. The City of Brotherly Love. Why is the city so small? It just doesn't, I'm not, and this looks like a Great Clips logo. I hate it. Other than that, I'm cool.
Okay. Let's get into it. So,
We'll just,
as a big uniform guy, some of these makes me want to burn my eyes. But
oh, these two. I have not forgotten about you, Chicago.
number 1, we had the same idea. Utah Jazz, perfection, in my opinion.
The only good jersey they have.
Number 2, there's a lot of ones I like, but I'm going with the Washington Wizards, the District of Columbia.
They were my honorable mention.
I like it's something about them I like.
The Wizards always have good jerseys. The pink ones
I
last
agree,
year
I
were
agree.
gorgeous too. I mean,
I want to give a few honorable mentions of jerseys I like. Minnesota's.
the water bottle ones.
Honestly, I don't mind it.
I love it. I like
I
it.
don't mind it. Another honorable mention I want to give is to Pacers. I don't mind it.
I like the court that goes with it. So I'm here for that.
People hate this. I think it's overhated, honestly.
People hated that Mavs jersey that came out that was also street style. I like the street style.
I also want to
jerseys.
mention the
I don't get it.
Thunders.
I hate that.
Really?
I hate it. It looks like Loves. It looks like they made a Loves basketball team.
I see what you're saying now. Okay.
I hate
I
that.
respect that. But my number 3 is also Charlotte.
Woo.
Also, but like how we agree here. Now, let's get into some tough ones. I might even name 5, honestly. I'm going to just start right here. That's Times New Roman font. What is going on here? Like you said, it got put in a Microsoft Word. That is the most basic jersey you could possibly create. That is hideous.
I like it. I think it's clean. I think it's really basic, and I think it's clean. Evan, we need director. Evan,
our director, what do
are
you
these
think?
good jerseys or
Atlanta
bad
good or
jerseys?
bad? You think it's
He
good?
likes them.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Let's go.
No.
Director's cut. Evan likes them.
That's actually absurd. Next one.
I'm gonna back
Move
away.
over here.
I'm scared. Don't hit me, please.
What is this?
Oh yeah, no.
Genuinely, what is that?
Could you imagine?
You might confuse the referees with all the numbers on here.
Could you imagine being a player and you know how media day, how they give you those jerseys and they make you go, do something,
Yeah.
and you gotta show off these jerseys like they're something nice, like they did not
Yeah,
just give you a track number. Carry on.
All right. Agreed. There's enough said there. Really? Culture? Heat culture. You could have done anything else. You could have gone back to those Vice uniforms. I absolutely adore those. You know, that pinks and the light blues. You just have your team name with the word culture.
Heat culture, it's a real thing. But
that much of a culture when you're 1-4.
I remember back in the day, I played for this little basketball team. We made a little bit of a basketball team for the small like charity tournament, right? And we made our own jerseys for like $5. That's what those look like.
Legitimately.
So,
Legitimately.
For a multi-million-dollar company or billion-dollar company, you should be doing a lot better than that. I'm sorry.
I have two more I want to point out.
Two more.
I want to agree with you on this one. The City of Brotherly Love, it just doesn't look right to me. But the one I hate the most.
Hate this jersey. Uh-oh.
This one, I don't get it.
We might have to argue because I don't. Oh, okay. No
Memphis. What are you doing just putting lines on it, dog? Like, dun, dun, what is that? Like, I mean, I understand it's an M-E-M. It's M-E-M.
It probably means something. We're not from Memphis, so I don't quite know why.
You put that and then just a number and there's some white trim.
But it's hideous.
That's the most basic uniform possible.
I want to also talk about one more jersey. I just kind of noticed it. I really like it. I'm a big fan of history in jerseys. I think it's
if you say one Spurs?
I am not talking about the Spurs.
I like
I'm talking about the one next to them.
Kings.
The Kings. Fair. The blue, the royal blue from the Rochester Kings days. I think that, talking about your history, it's a gorgeous thing. It's a beautiful thing, especially from a franchise as historic as the Kings. Yeah. I like that. For the rest of the part, these are just okay. Those make me feel like I am impaired, but other than that.
I like Toronto's too. I'm a big fan of the gold that they.
Yeah, someone that was working on the show with us today said that they hated these ones. I don't mind them.
The Lakers is classic. I like it.
I have a Nets jersey.
The Nets jersey. Where are we looking?
Our director has said that he wants to talk about the Nets jersey.
It's a good.
Is this a yes or a no? You like them? I think it's creative.
You just put some random colors on it. They do this all the time.
You know what the best description of these jerseys are? A cereal box. This looks like a cereal box. And you know what? I like it. I don't mind it. I think it kind of fits that Brooklyn style. Evan, are those your favorite jerseys so far? Or you got any more that you want to talk about?
What's your top one? Number one.
Boston?
Okay.
I think that it fits the Boston history. People are like, why is Boston so basic? When are you ever going to catch the Yankees wearing a
I didn't even see them. I like that one.
It's clean.
Orlando's clean.
People, I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm going to go on a little bit of a TED Talk. Well, look at me real quick.
I'm going to step off.
People that complain about Boston jerseys. Boston is personally one of the most historic franchises in all of basketball history.
100%.
When do you see the Yankees go away from the pinstripes and the gray jerseys?
Never.
No. So why would Boston go away from the green, the white, the gold, and the black? Gold is a step above. They never go gold. So be happy, okay? It's Boston. We're basic. We stick to our roots. That's what makes us so good. We focus on our players, not our jerseys. Charlotte. Now moving on.
I have one team I want to talk about, though. The team that needs to change their entire uniform palette. The Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
I don't like any of their uniforms.
Have they ever had a good city jersey?
I don't know. They had that. I think it was a greenish one last year. It had like a little cowboy hat on or something on the end.
Yeah, those were hideous. I hated that one.
Those were all right.
They were another one of those classic ones, but I mean, yeah. I'm sorry for the anger and hyperness. That was. We're very passionate about jerseys. And
I think I am more than you are. I'm a big jersey
This is my TED Talk. I got one more thing to say. Yep. Nike.
Do better.
Not every jersey you make needs to be black. You do know that there are other colors, right? Black, white, black, black. The same jersey from last year, but red. Black, 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 black. I mean, come on.
I believe I counted 15 or 16. That's half.
Come on.
That's more than half.
I mean, you get paid to make these. I can make these in 5 minutes.
It's a black and blue. That's about it. Black, blue, and a little bit of red.
That's why I'm such a big fan. Like, all the ones that we pointed out are the ones that actually have character.
Yeah.
I mean, the indie ones. I saw the reason.
It has character. It has character.
It has character. The yellow,
the extra colors.
I also like street design. It brings me back to high school. Brings me back to AAU days. I did not hate the Mavs jerseys. Those ones that were also street. People that hate street designs, I don't get it. But hey, I like it. I think some of these jerseys here are some of the better city jerseys, but some of these are also some of the worst. So it's a very high ceiling, very low floor.
Yeah.
So
that's enough for the uniform talk.
Welcome for a uniform TED Talk. I'm sorry about that, but
I want to go into some more next week. I have an idea for you. I'll pitch to you at the end of this, but
might have something fun next week then. Anfernee Simons out for 6 weeks. Portland, I mean, what do you do here?
Portland, it's tough. You trade Dame to give him kind of the key to the city, and then he gets hurt.
And he's hurt. If you're Portland, you don't really expect much out of this season. You got Malcolm Brogdon. You know he's going to be starting. He's a great six man. Six man of the year, if I remember correctly. Was it Brogdon? Yeah, it was Brogdon. No, six man of the year. So I mean, they'll be fine. But like, yeah, it's a hard blow, especially since this is Simons. You know, this is a big year. You know, this isn't the biggest story, but it's the first injury of the year, so it might as well talk about it. As a team that's kind of in the middle of the pack, how important is injuries and health coming into the year?
You've got to stay. I mean, you can't predict what's going to happen. Things like this, freak accidents happen like this. And being a middle pack team trying to compete for a play-in spot, having these injuries so early on in the season and losing games consistently is just your team or else is going to tank.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough to get back up.
With that note, I also have another point I want to say. Actually, no, I'll say that for the playoffs. But you're going to hear me rant in the playoffs because there's something I'm very passionate about in the playoffs that involve injuries that I am going to rant about if I even see one tweet complaining about a team that does good only because the other team's injured. But moving on, we got, NBA full of surprises, all right?
Yeah. And
this season has been kind of no different, but there's been a few surprises. So let's look at some of them. The Heat 1-4. How do you feel? Is this a, show off of their season, or do you think they bounce back?
They'll be fine. It's still Miami. Heat culture, as their jersey said. They're still Miami.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. They'll still be up there 6 or 7 seed probably.
And then probably go far in the playoffs because of
they'll
that.
probably
Michael
make
Jordan
the
Jr.
NBA Finals or something, but I mean, who knows?
The Grizzlies are winless. What is happening?
No Don Morant.
No Steven Adams.
No Steven Adams.
But this is still a good team.
They still have Desmond Bain. They still have Marcus Smart. They have a decent squad. And we've actually seen them be better occasionally without John Morant. This kind of surprises me at their wins.
You got the past two depoys on one team: Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bain. You have, I think they still have Xavier Tillman at center, the Minnesota guy. He's a solid center, good replacement, good backup. You got Brandon Clark behind him. This is a roster that has potential. You got Derrick Rose coming off the bench. I mean,
it's too early to make assumptions about how good or bad teams actually are. Because this is 4 games out of an 82-game season.
Yeah.
Give everyone time to kind of separate themselves from how everything,
We'll see how they do, but they need to stay kind of like middle of the pack if they're going to be good this year.
But if we're back here next week and they're still winning this, then there's a problem.
If they don't win tonight, then there's a problem because there's no situation, in my opinion, that they lose to Portland without their best player. Moving on, Mavs are undefeated.
After what happened last season, the way it ended, this surprises me. I mean, Luka's good, Kyrie's good. That was bound to happen. They're bound to be a good squad.
Yeah.
Last year had to have been a fluke. They should not have missed the playoffs by any means. They didn't have time to gel after Kyrie got traded. Now they have. They had the entire camp together. Now look what they're doing.
This is a team full of guards. They have some of the best guards in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Luka, Kyrie, Hardy, one of those guards I'm really high on. Center-wise, though, Derek Lively's playing good. I don't know if Dwight Powell's been starting or if it's been Lively. I still don't know how Dwight Powell has a job. He must have dirt on Mark Cuban. That's my only assumption here. But he's been a Mavs since I can remember.
Yeah.
And he has done consistently nothing. So hopefully this is Derek Lively's defense now to take over. I really like him. And I think that the Mavericks, I don't think they'll stay towards the top, but I think they'll stay in playoff contention.
They'll be a 4 or 5 in the West. I'm 100% sure about that.
Get like 6 or 7. I think they'll be lower. I think the West is too good to keep them up that high.
Okay, that's fair.
Last but not least, I was talking about them not too long ago, and you got mad at me for talking about them.
I'm still getting mad.
The Pelicans, 4-1. How do you feel?
All right.
This, to me, is not too out of the ordinary. This team's healthy. They were a playoff team. I want to say a few years ago.
Give it a few more weeks now and get hurt, and they'll be
if
just back
Zion
down.
Williamson can survive the season, Brandon Ingram, he's got his hobo haircut going on, and he's been playing great. This is a team. They got the talent.
Oh,
they
will
the
100% have the talent if they can stay healthy.
They can stay healthy.
I just don't trust Zion to stay healthy after the last 4 seasons. He's been hurt every single time.
I just think it's just part of the culture there. We talk about culture. It's very important in all sports. People that say that culture is not a thing in sports, they're wrong. I mean, Heat culture is a real thing. I think New Orleans' culture is kind of bad when it comes to the playoffs. They've never won before. They're just mediocre. And they're fine with that, and that's been the problem with them most of this. The reason that Anthony Davis left. That's the reason that Chris Paul left. I mean, this is a franchise that just doesn't have a lot of longevity. This is the best their team has looked in a very long time. I
They
think
began last season really well too. Remember, if I don't recall, they were the 1 seed in the West
and they did
after
make
a few weeks.
They did make the playoffs last year, and they did play pretty well. But I mean, it's just. What was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
I think it might have been 2 years ago.
I don't think
I
it was
remember
last
sitting
year.
on the couch not too long ago watching with some friends. Watching. Was it? It was it was 2 years ago because it was Suns versus Pelicans. That was the series I was watching, and they played very good against the Suns. It's pretty much the same roster, but they've only gotten better. So give me the Pelicans staying in the playoffs, but don't give me them staying 4-1.
They'll be a 6 or 7 seed.
6 or 7.
I don't think they'll be too high up in the West.
Give me playing, maybe 6 or 7 at most.
I agree.
But this was an interesting episode of Grand Slam. Not a lot of basketball talk, more about the jersey and the aesthetics. But
we'll get more basketball as we move on in the season.
Welcome to week 1. There's not a lot of content, but that's going to be all from me. My name is Charles Foster.
Jay Saj.
Have a good night.